Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Lorn and Oban Healthy Options podcast. Thank you for joining us today. And once again, I am joined by two special guests. Today I'm joined again by Rob, and I'm also joined by Peter. So they're going to introduce themselves.
My name's Rob Graham. I'm the Senior Exercise Specialist for Healthy Options based in Oban. Been working here for over 2 years now, previously from Newcastle, where you're from, Phill.
I know. It's strange that, isn't it? It's like the new one they put together to do a podcast.
That must have been it, yes.
And we also have Peter with us today. So Peter, could you briefly introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Peter Miller. I'm 50, will be 51 this coming week, and I'm a Healthy Option client. I'm a taxi driver in Oban, a survivor of COVID.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So this is sort of a unique story that we're doing today. But Rob, can you just briefly tell us once again what Healthy Options do?
So Healthy Options are a little charity. We're based in Oban, and in a nutshell, we take referrals from local GP practices, from physiotherapists, from dietitians, and some mental health specialists. And basically, we believe that movement is medicine. So instead of administering drugs, we use exercise to try and improve the health and fitness of those that are sent to us. So we work with those that have been sent with physical problems. And at the minute, we're also taking in many people who are suffering with mental health issues revolving around COVID and long-term lockdown and the consequences of those restrictions. But we work with a broad palette, and we work with just about every health condition known to man. And we also have an education program where we try to educate people in diet, nutrition, and healthy lifestyle advice, things like sleep improvement. So really having a holistic look at their health and well-being and how that could be improved going forward.
Thank you very much, Rob. And Peter, you said you're a client of Healthy Options. So, and you also said you're a COVID survivor, I think is the word that they're using. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you got involved with Healthy Options?
Well, I used to work as a school minibus driver and a taxi driver, and I still work as a taxi driver. I hurt my left knee. We were using the clutch, but I think it was a recurring injury from when I was in the military, and I went to the doctors. He put me as a referral to Healthy Options. While I was waiting for the referral to kick in, I got COVID. So then I really needed their help to get back walking.
Fantastic. So, Rob, you're the exercise professional. Obviously, you've worked with Peter. What sort of steps did you put in place to help him get back walking, especially after COVID?
Well, Peter is a great example of how Healthy Options plays a key role in a multidisciplinary team of health professionals in the local area. And it's really nice when you see that sort of collaborative approach, putting somebody like Peter at the centre and doing whatever it takes, from acute care right through to what we do really in terms of trying to keep Peter out of hospital and reducing any future risks. And rehabbing his respiratory system really after what he's been through. So Peter's had quite a journey. He spent 7 weeks in hospital initially, and quite a bit of that in ICU. He lost an awful lot of weight. I think he'd lost about 30 kilograms. Is that right?
30 kilos, yeah.
So it's an incredible amount of weight to lose in a very short period of time. He'd also developed diabetes as part of that time in hospital, and he had to have a tracheostomy as well. So coming out of hospital, Peter needed some quite intensive physiotherapy, and that was the sort of next stage in Peter's journey, was to spend some time with physio within the hospital before he was released. And then after he had been released from hospital for a while, we took Peter on within our reablement project. Now, at the minute, that is run by April Barron, who's my colleague. And April actually goes into people's homes, those who are quite vulnerable and perhaps don't have the sort of mobility that they would need to get to the gym, for example, and do those types of sessions at Atlantis that we would normally do. And although if you look at Peter now, he's a big strapping lad, and you would think, well, surely Peter didn't need that sort of work because of what he had been through with COVID. And we're learning all the time in terms of the symptoms that come as part of this disease. He wasn't in a position really to come to the gym. So we started with some gentle home exercises and a home walking program. And that's all we've done in conjunction with the physio department. So our reablement project runs in conjunction with physio. And the idea and the long-term hope is that eventually they come on to our mainstream project at Atlantis. And again, this is a great example of somebody coming through all these different tiers. And eventually we got Peter up to Atlantis to carry on his exercise. He became part of the education project as well that we run, and was using online sessions that we run, and coming to the gym and using cardiovascular equipment, and very gradually just encouraging his breathing efficiency to start returning to where it would have once been, because it had obviously been through the mill a little bit. And working with somebody like Peter is really interesting for us, because COVID-19 is a new disease for all of us, and the outcomes on our clients are different. So we were learning on the job really, and we noticed with Peter that his fatigue would come on very, very rapidly, and that's something that we haven't really seen much in other health conditions, and we had to be very wary of that. But gradually, bit by bit, we've got him back to something approaching where he was before his diagnosis. I'm sure he'll tell you probably still got a way to go. It's going to be a long journey for a lot of people that have contracted this disease, but we're well on the way, I think.
Thanks so much, Rob. So Rob was saying that you've been through it, Peter, and you've had a big journey with Healthy Options. So why is Healthy Options important to you, Peter? What changes have they made to your life personally?
Well, because I was I lost all my muscle mass in the hospital, and I was building it back up, and I didn't realise how much the fatigue built into the fitness would hit me so hard, and then you have to build it up gradually to get your levels higher and higher. Now, we did have a blip in Atlantis Leisure. We had to call the ambulance because I'd got a dizzy, and I had 3 minutes on a rowing machine, and it was like just went all dizzy, and I was like, nah, got to stop. And I was like, I'm fine, I can go home. They were like, no, we got to make sure you're, because blood clots and stuff, because COVID had brought on lots of different weird and wonderful stuff, and because I had it so severe, they didn't want to take any risks. And that's why Healthy Options is so important, to build up people's strength, mental abilities to do stuff again, and push themselves to do them again. That's how they've helped me.
Amazing. And it's always amazing to hear these stories. And as Rob was saying earlier, Healthy Options is a charity, and they have been doing a big fundraising campaign called the 5 to 10 campaign. And you can find out more information about that on www.lornhealthyoptions.co.uk/campaign. Of course, you can find out more information about Healthy Options through the website as well. If someone's listening today and they're thinking of doing a fundraiser for us, or thinking of donating to our campaign, what would you say to them, Rob?
I think because we play such a key role in keeping people away from acute care. It's really important that we have organisations like Healthy Options in towns like Oban and all over Scotland. And because we're a charity, it's important that we do get the funding, because we're not funded totally by NHS, and every year we struggle to pull in the necessary funding to keep the operation going. And it takes a couple of £100,000 to keep this operation going year on year. And we do work with a lot of people in the local community. Therefore, it's important really that we are funded somewhat by the local community. So if you can, if it's possible, then please think about what you could do in terms of a fundraising event. And it might just be a great way to stimulate your own exercise levels going forward, and giving yourself a kickstart and setting yourself a goal, and perhaps being the best you can be. I did the message from Mull this morning. We were talking about trying to make sure that you make the best of what you've been given. And our bodies are amazing things, so why not challenge yourself to take something on, get a little bit of sponsorship pulled together from those that are close to you, and we can help folks set up their fundraising page on local giving, and help to direct people towards that page. And you might just find it gives you a real goal and aspiration to aim for going forward, especially now the weather's getting a little bit better, and people are more likely to be outside. The weather looks beautiful with you there, Phill, by the way. That's your fancy background, isn't it?
That's my fancy background.
That's
Taking
it,
on
yeah.
a sunny day.
I need one of those for the rainy days. So yeah, why not set yourself a challenge and test yourself, and perhaps do it on behalf of an organisation that will hopefully give a lot back to the local community, and reduce the need for more NHS treatment and drug therapy going forward.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Rob. And thank you both for joining us. Is there anything else you would like to say to anybody listening before we leave for today? So Peter, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Rob and his team for the excellent work they've done. And if you can donate to them, please do.
Thank you very much, Peter. And Rob, would you like to add anything else?
I just think to back up what Peter said there, he said he would want to thank the team, and the team is the critical thing. It's not just me. You know, April has worked with Peter intensely in his own home. Katie picked up Peter's case when he first came up to Atlantis. Obviously myself and Ian have been working with Peter in the gym, and it really is a team approach, and without that, you know, we wouldn't get the outcomes that we do. And Peter, when Peter first came out of hospital, his initial assessment, the physios rated him as an 80-plus-year-old in terms of his functional capacity. And now,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was like, I did my first. It was like a step against the door, and it was just like, you're an 8-year-old, and then my last assessment with him, it was like, yeah, we don't know what age you are now, but you're below 60.
So we've taken 20 years off him straight away. There we go.
Fantastic.
But it's not possible without the team, and it's not just the exercise professionals. It's all those behind the scenes as well. The admin assistants, the development managers, the board, all absolutely critical to what we do, and obviously our relationship with all the other health professionals in the Oban area.
Thank you very much, and thank you to both of you for joining us today. And we will hopefully see you both again soon. And thank you for chatting to us, and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.